Now, the president's feud with Bob Corker continues as Steve Bannon decides to jump into the fight. Now, basically this all started on Sunday when Bob Corker gave an interview to the New York Times. Now, he said, President Trump, he's heading us in the wrong direction. He's heading us in the direction of World War III. Is like, and everybody knows it, and everybody's trying to contain him, that, you know, all that stuff. Now, that World War III quote, that's actually literally the most damning, because this is from a very, very conservative Republican, right? And in fact, throughout that entire interview, the theme of how incompetently dangerous this president is just kept coming up, as well as the fact that everybody in Congress, they know this, right? And they still haven't done a damn thing. So very interesting of Congress to not do anything. Now, Corker's criticism did not go unchallenged. Like I said, Steve Bannon jumping into the fight. He went on Hannity and he decided to talk about it. Let's watch.
This is what they think about President Trump behind closed doors. He happened to tell the New York Times exactly what I thought. It's totally unacceptable. In a time of war, we have troops in Afghanistan, in the Northwest Pacific in Korea. We have a major problem that could be like World War I, in the South China Sea, in the Persian Gulf. We have American lives at risk every day. He tweets on Sunday that it's like the adult center and somebody didn't have the morning shift. And then he has the audacity to go to the New York Times and to give this.
He didn't know that was going to air. He didn't know they were going to release that.
I think, by the way, I'm not sure that he knew it was going to be a tape, but he gave those guys an on-the-record interview. You saw that in the New York Times. And by the way, Phil Rucker, yesterday in the Washington Post, the buried lead was, he said, there's only 2 or 3 senators on Capitol Hill that have President Trump's back. When you want to talk about why there's no repeal and replace, why there's no tax cut, why there's no tax reform, why there's no infrastructure bill, you saw it right there. Corker, McConnell and Corker and the entire clique, establishment globalist clique on Capitol Hill, have to go. And if we need any more proof about what they think, you heard it tonight, it's an absolute disgrace.
Okay, so there's a lot of stuff to break down. For one, let me address that it was totally unacceptable for anybody to, especially like Bob Corker, to go and criticize the president during a time of war. Yeah, you heard that right. You can't criticize the president in the time of war. And this is coming from the CEO of Breitbart, who did nothing but criticize President Obama during his entire term. What was happening during President Obama's entire term? And this is something that I've criticized Obama about. Oh, right. We were at war. We were at war with Afghanistan. We were at war in Iraq. And we were bombing like 7 different countries, most of which we didn't even know. Yemen, drone strikes, all that stuff. That's funny because you seem to have no problem with criticizing Barack Obama during a time of war. And now you're saying, oh, yeah, but Trump, look, we got Americans dying over in Afghanistan. I mean, you can't criticize Donald Trump while American troops are in trouble. The hypocrisy, man. The hypocrisy. Now, he says some other interesting stuff. Now, he says, look, Bannon said Corker holds the view of many lawmakers in the Republican establishment, saying they have total contempt for the forgotten man in the base. That's actually true on several points. Yes, the Republican establishment hates regular people. We already knew that. I point that out all the time. And yes, most of them also do feel that same way about Donald Trump. So to be fair, yes, it's true. Now, what's funny is that he's like, well, this is why we don't have repeal and replace. This is why we don't have tax reform. No, we don't have those policies, not because the Republicans don't want it. You talk to Republicans about a tax cut, they're going to be like, oh, tax cuts are amazing. They're wonderful. I love tax cuts. There isn't a tax cut for the rich, and I got to point that out. There ain't a tax cut for the rich that the Republicans don't like. Okay? No, what this is, it's not about opposition to Trump. It's because they can't actually do anything because the President Trump is a bumbling fool. And not only that, but their positions, McConnell's positions, are actually incredibly unpopular. I mean, you talk to regular Americans and you ask them, hey, does ExxonMobil need another tax cut? Do the wealthy, do people on Wall Street, do they need another tax cut? Does Donald Trump need another tax cut? They're going to tell you absolutely not. That is not what we're in favor of, but that's what their tax plan is about. Same thing with the ACA. The replacement plan had a 17% approval rating. there were, there were town halls where people were like, do not take away the ACA. Do not do it. In fact, you have the opposite happening now. You have a majority of Americans that are in favor of a Medicare for all system, where it actually expands healthcare and actually does all the stuff that President Trump promised his own healthcare plan would do. But anyway, not only that, but look, the failure of a lot of Republicans to do this is because Donald Trump would continuously undercut them on Twitter. The overall point here is that, yes, Trump is not playing three-dimensional chess with these Republicans. No, he's an idiot. He's not playing three-dimensional chess. He's playing checkers. Or he's not even playing checkers. He's playing Go Fish. Okay, completely different game. And like I said, for Bannon to place this squarely on the Republican establishment when it's his own guy's failures is completely asinine. Yes, of course, Republicans and their shitty policies do share part of the blame, but Corker is right. The president is dangerously stupid, and he continues to prove that over and over and over again. For the safety of the country, he's got to go. And one more thing. When Bannon said, or when Hannity said, well, Corker didn't know he was going to be taped. Oh, no. Tape came out, and he's like, I hope you guys are recording this. I do want this on the record. Corker don't give no shits anymore. He's like, yeah, we all feel this way. Trump's a moron. What are you going to do about it? Hey, at least that's the kind of honesty that I was always looking for from everybody in office, and at least we got it. Of course, that's when he's got nothing to lose. If only these politicians were to be honest when they're not facing, or when they're actually facing re-election. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.